All right, good evening and welcome to Master Talker online class. In today's video, which is the last video on longitude and latitude, we'll be talking about distance between any two, shortest distance between any 2 points on the parallel line of latitude. Okay. Now, you know that if you have this now, for instance, and I have my cardinal point, and this is my north, south, east, and west, for instance. Now, maybe I have maybe something like this and something like this and then one like this. Okay, so now if you look at this, let me call this the point A, point B. Now on a normal, we're supposed to find the distance between point A and B on the parallel line of latitude or small circle. I hope you are seeing that. But if you have something like this, okay, whenever the distance between A and B is obviously on the small circle, and they are now telling you to find it on the great circle, then which means it simply means they are asking you the shortest distance between them. Okay, that is why the topic said shortest distance between any 2 points on the parallel line of latitude. It must be that their distance must be on the latitude. Okay, but now they will not be asking you to find it on the great circle, or they will tell you to find the shortest distance. All right, so to get the shortest distance, it has a formula. Okay, it has a formula. Let me say we want to trace this to this point and trace this to this point. All right, and then this to the center, this to the center. All right, now it has a formula, and the formula just said shortest distance between A and B is simply 2 the sine inverse of cos alpha, then sine theta over 2, then times 2 pi r. Very simple. So please, this formula, you need to memorize it and then have it in your mind always. Okay, it's very, very simple. 2 sine inverse of cos alpha, then sine this theta is always half of it. Okay, sine this over 2. So let us solve some example to illustrate what we are saying. All right, I can clean here. So the first question we are going to solve here said P and Q are 2 points on latitude 55 degrees north. Okay, and their longitude are 35 degree west and 23 degree east respectively. Calculate the distance between P and Q measured along A, the parallel of latitude, B, great circle. Solution. Now if you look at it, let us draw it normally. If we draw this, we have the north, the south, the east, the west, right? Then I'm having that for they have north 55 degree north, and then they have west and east. Okay, the west is the east is 23 degree east, while the west is 35 degree west. All right, now if you look at this, this is point P and point Q. Now obviously the distance between them is on a small circle, but they are not asking us to find the one on the great circle. Okay, You see how to notice it now. So first of all, the first question they said is the normal one we know. They say we should find their distance on the parallel line of latitude, okay, which is what? We need our alpha. Our alpha is the one they have in common. So they have 55 knots in common. So 55 is my alpha. Then my theta. My theta is also from the other one they don't have in common. But they are not on the same side. West and the east are not on the same side. So I'm going to add. So this is going to be 23 plus 35, which will give you I think 58 degrees. All right. So now the distance distance PQ I'm looking for is simply our normal formula, the other one, which is what? Theta over 360 times 2 pi big R cos what? Alpha. So I'm going to have 58 over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times 6400 cos 55. So if you do everything, you're going to get 3589 kilometer. All right. So this one is very simple, but the one I want you to concentrate on is the B part. The B part say we should find the distance on the great circle. The distance on a normally that the distance supposed to be on the small circle, but they are not asking you to find it on the great circle. And I told you the formula distance, the distance on the great circle means the shortest distance between them. So the shortest distance between P and Q is very simple formula. 2 the sine inverse of cos alpha, okay, then sine theta divided by 2. All right. You know that you should not confuse when to use sine and when to use cos. Always my cos always go with alpha, so your cos will go with alpha, but the sine should be sine theta over 2. Then you now have times 2 pi big R. 2 pi R is always there. Okay, so I'm going to have so what do I have now? Sorry, divided by 360. I forgot. Sorry. Please, you must divide it by 360. Divided by 360. So please correct that formula I gave you. It must be divided by 360. All right. Very, very important. It must be divided by 360. All right. So let us go now. So this is equal to 2 the sine inverse of, first of all, cos my alpha is 55, cos 55 sine 58 divided by 2, then times what? 2 times 22 over 7 times 6400. All right. So I'm going to have 2 sine inverse of cos 55 times sine 52 divided by 2 will give you 58 divided by 2. How did I get 58? So press your calculator. 58 divided by 2. Okay, so what they gave us was 33. Sorry, what they gave us was 33, not 35. Okay. I'm changing it because I'm not using calculator. Okay, so I want to just use exactly what they used here. But if you have your calculator, just do 58 divided by 2. So, but since I don't have calculator, so it's going to be 56. All right. So please change your own, please. This is 33 and 56. Here is 56. All right. So if you change it now, so 56 divided by 2 will give you so 5 by 2 will give you 2, by 16 will give you 8. Okay, then you now have times 2 times 22 over 7, then times 6400. So now what do you have to do? Look at what you have to do. Just press cos 55, then times sine 32, then do sine inverse of it. Are you getting it now? So if you do sine inverse of it, then you now get the answer that is required. So this is 2 sine. When you press this times this, you're going to get 0.2691. Okay, times do everything here. You're going to have So don't forget over 360. Over 360. All right. This 20 over 7, 7 can come down. So I'm going to have 360 times that 7. It will come down. So the other one, if you multiply the numerator, you're going to get 281,600. All right. So now sine inverse of this, then times 2 times this one divided by this, you're going to get, if you do everything, is what? 3486 kilometer. All right. So that is that. So please remember this formula, that it has 360 at the denominator. Please, that's the mistake I made in the first time I wrote the formula. So please don't forget that you must divide everything by 360. All right. So let's further ahead. The second question we are going to solve. Second question said that P is a town, right? P is a town on longitude 74.42 degree east, and the Q is another town on longitude 20.18 west. Then I say both towns are on latitude 48.50 north. Full stop. Calculate a distance between P and Q measured along their common latitude. B, the length of chord PQ. C, the angle subtended by PQ at the center of the circle, at the center of the earth. All right, this is very, very simple. So what do? We draw first. Let us draw it here. Okay, so I have my north, my south, my east, and my west. So I have the first one east, draw it to the east. I have the second one west, draw it to the west. And I have the last one north, draw it to the north. So east and north is the first point, point P, point Q. So label it that this is your 48.50, while this one is the east is your 74.42. Okay, while the west is 20.18. all right. Now from this place I can get my alpha. My alpha is the one they have in common. So they have the north in common, which is what? 48.50 north. That is what they have in common. Then my theta is now gotten from the other one, and they are not on the same side, west and east. So I'm going to add. So this is what? 74.42 plus 20.18. So if you add them, you are going to have 95 degrees. So therefore the distance between them, their distance on the latitude, that is from here to here, is on a small circle. So I'm going to use distance between P and Q. On the latitude, please, on the latitude should be what? Theta over 360 times 2 pi big R cos alpha. All right. So I'm going to have what do we have now? So this is equal to what do I have? So do that, you're going to have 95 over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times 6,400 cos 48.5. So if you do that, you are going to have, do everything there, you are going to have 6990.77 kilometer. All right. Now question number B said the arc PQ. I told you that the chord PQ. To find the chord PQ is simply, I told the formula now, length of the chord PQ. Length of the chord is always given by the sign 2r sine. This one is always half of it. Okay, 2r sine theta over 2. So what do I have? 2 times my small r is simply saying big R cos theta. All right, then sine theta over 2. So what do we have now? 2 times 6,400 cos what? Cos theta, then sine, cos my alpha is what? This is alpha, not theta. My alpha is 48.5, then sine my theta is 95 divided by 2. 95 divided by 2. So I'm going to have, if you do everything there, you're going to have 6216.44 kilometer. All right. So, but what if they are asking us the distance along the great circle, or they're asking us the shortest distance? Okay. If they're asking us the shortest distance, what do we do? I told that the shortest distance, for example, before I answer C, if they're asking us the shortest distance between P and Q, or their distance on the great circle is the same thing. I thought that the formula is let me make the formula simpler for you. Okay, the formula is 2 sine inverse of that length of chord. Yes, length of chord. Okay, then times 2 pi big R all over 360. I think this one will be very, very, very cheap for you to understand. Okay, 2, but the length of chord has 2 pi R. That is where the problem is. So we cannot use 2 lengths of this. So, but just know that it is what? 2 sine inverse of, then cos what? Cos alpha, then sine what? Theta over 2, then times 2 pi big R. Everybody divided by 360. All right. So this one, just I wanted to check if it will work like that. But length of a chord has 2 at the back. All right, another 2 at the back for length of the chord. 2r self at the back. All right. So please don't forget this formula, but that is not what we want to solve here. All right. So what we want to solve is what? The angle subtended by P and Q at the center. The angle subtended by P and Q at the center, that is here and here. This angle. All right. All right. So to get the angle subtended, we are going to use the formula that said the sine that angle, let me call that angle phi. That sine phi is equal to what? Half of the length of the chord, okay, divided by your big R. Very simple. Half length of the chord divided by your big R. So sine phi, that angle between angle suspended at the center, okay, is equal to, what do we do now? So length of the chord, we got it as 1/2 half times 6216.4 divided by 6400. So sine phi is equal to, do everything, you are going to get 0.4857. so phi is now what? The sine inverse of 0.4857. so what do we have? We are going to have 29.06. okay, so now this file is for this small one here. This is the file. So the angle between them is now phi plus another phi, that is 2 phi. So the angle at the center is equal to 2 times the phi, which is what? 2 times 29.06, which is 58.12 degrees. Now, how did we get that? If you look at this, if you bring that very well, this thing is like this. If you move this one like this, then you trace this line this way. Now, this is that chord. Here is the chord. Okay, so if I trace this thing now, if I trace this to the center, which is this one in the center, you will now have that this one is the alpha, this one is the alpha. Okay, so if you now bring it out, it is like this, and here is like this, and this is my alpha. Okay, and this is half of the chord. You are bringing out half of the chord, and half of that chord, that is half of chord. Then I have got, you know that here is radius of the earth. Okay, and the sine alpha is equal to what? Opposite over hypotenuse, which is what? Half of the chord divided by your r. So that is how we got that formula. Half of length of the chord divided by r. So the total angle they suspended at the center is now 2 of that angle. So that is that. Let me take my time. All right, so we're going to solve one more question, and I think the last question, then we are good to go. Okay, and the question said two towns okay, 2 points, sorry, 2 points x, and the point x gave us 32 degrees south and 86 degree west. Okay, and y gave us 32 degree south and 14 degree west. All right, are on the earth. On the earth surface. Then I say calculate correct to 3 significant figure. A question: length of chord xy. B question said distance between x and y along I parallel of latitude II great circle. Okay, so maybe you can try this and then tell me what you get as the answer at on the comment section. You can try this. It's a very simple something. Don't forget that the length of the chord is given by what? 2 small r sine what? Sine theta over 2. And small r is given by what? 2 big R cos theta. Small r is always equal to what? Big R cos theta. Please don't forget. This small r is what? Radius of the what? The parallel line of the latitude. Why this one is radius of the earth? That is the parallel the line of longitude. So this is radius of the small circle. Why this one is radius of the big circle? So the relationship between radius of the small circle and radius of the big circle is this formula. Okay, so don't forget this. Very, very important. So if you now put it, you're going to have sine theta over 2. That is for this. So but the distance between them along the parallel line of latitude is the normal one, you know, which is what? Which is theta over 360 times 2 pi small r. Why is this small r? Because it's on the latitude. So change the small r to big R. You have theta over 360 times 2 pi big R cos what? Alpha. All right. Then the great circle. On a normal, this is supposed to be on the small circle. But for you to get the one on the great circle, it means the shortest distance between them. And shortest distance between them, the formula is what? 2. The sine inverse of cos alpha sine theta over 2. Okay, then times 2 pi r, everything over 360. So thank you very much for watching. Please, I'll be waiting for your answer at the comment section. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye bye.